We're live on the internet. I'm just blasting that I'm going live. Uno momento. Hopefully everyone's having a great week. So today we're going to be talking about the cost of inaction and ultimately helping out the low capital farmer. And what I mean by low cap is you're not in here pumping, I don't know, 15, 50 grand, 100 grand, 7 figures into the space. You're just starting out. You don't know a whole lot about DeFi. And the reason you may be watching this call is because you're trying to figure out how to make this all work. And essentially, that's what we do at our group. Total Value Locked. School.com/beacon. Learn from the best in the business. Absolutely free, guys. Please. If you want to learn more about decentralized finance, how to make your assets work for you, let's say you've been holding on to some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, anything really, and you want to figure out how can I make that money work for me, because you're just kind of holding you're holding it, whereas we call in this space hodling it. Join our free group. We do have some paid options, of course, if you want to get there faster, if you want more help. You can certainly check that out in our start here post. I'm in the wrong window. This post right here. You'll get a nice message from myself and my co-founder Andrew, along with the one thing that I think that everybody needs to check out, which is our Introduction to DeFi course. And this will help you get pretty much up and running. We've been doing this call. This Friday training is free for the community. It's called Beat the Banks. And essentially it's about beating the banks and becoming your own bank, being in charge of wherever you want your money to go. And that is what we really recommend that you do. I want to say hello to all of our Beacon Mastermind members, Beacon Accelerator, Beacon founding members who are in on the call. If you're here today, thanks for making all of this possible. So let me get back to kind of what has kind of led me to what we're talking about today. Let me hide this banner. And a lot of it is that I've had some people talk to me about how well things go in our group. And I honestly get a little confused because we have a lot of people in our community. Not a lot of people are posting. What I want you to do is, as you get through our group, go through our content, give me the feedback. That's why I'm here. I've been helping onboard people, tens of thousands of people since 2021. I want to make sure that you're getting the best value possible, because our goal at Beacon is that our free stuff is better than everybody else's paid stuff, hands down. I put out a recent poll this morning. I guess it was 3 hours ago. It's still in the morning, depending on where you are. And it's just a poll. And got some interesting answers, got some comments. Some people who are saying that, safety was an issue. That's great. We have all of that in our group available to you in our Introduction to DeFi module, which is actually linked here in my response to Edgar. But in looking at the votes as to why, and I guess I can't see it, but the 2 votes so far in terms of why you're not making any positions kind of interested me, because ultimately, if you're just trying this out and you're looking for something to get into, ultimately what I'm looking to see here is actually taking action. We have a lot of content and it's really affordable to get into. Like, I've done most of the positions on our demos on this training with less than $20, because if you just want to get started and check it out, that's all you really need. I mean, you can do it $5 if you want it. The whole point is to get in there and get started. So if you hold coins on Coinbase, if you hold them on crypto.com, if you hold them on Kraken, do yourself the favor, go through our content, get some stuff down to Arbitrum, to Base, set up a position, like a stablecoin position, like I mentioned here. And if you had done that 12 months ago, I mean, look at the rates on these things. Stablecoins, 82%, all the way down. I have to scroll quite a bit to go below 10%. And 10% still beats everything out there on the street. You could have been in a position like this for a year, earning 12, 10, 25% on a lot of these positions that have been here for quite some time. And that's really the point of what I wanted to get to, is like the cost of inaction. I understand people are they can be scared. The market kind of looks kind of crazy, right? So if we go to CoinGecko and just looking at where the market has been for like the last 7 days, I mean, people have been worried that, Bitcoin went from like 16K 18 months ago all the way up to 108K. And it's like, this volatility is too much. Well, you don't have to do that. You can farm stable coins, guys. That's what a lot of people do. In fact, most of the people I know with the most money in this space, you will be surprised to know that they just farm stable coins. They'll get these upside bets filled, like they'll get into some asymmetric upside bets is what they're looking for. But the profits that they get from that, they literally just put it into stable coins, because it's going to be way better than anything they have at their bank, anything in their savings account, stuff like that. Just to talk about what Mr. Rough-Yield Farmer is here saying. Gains are gains. Doesn't matter if it was $5 or $500,000. Absolutely right. I just kind of wanted to address a couple of issues that I saw, right? One of the votes is to, I only invest in things with 500% APR. That's fine. Problem is, let's be honest, 500% is not sustainable. Based on what we've been seeing for the past year, rates between 10 and 100% can be sustainable with the right position. Ultimately, we want to be, if we're going to be taking higher risk, we want to be paid for that, right? Like if I'm gonna put my neck out there on a directional coin, I want to be in a position that pays me at least 50 to 100%. I want it to be worth my time. And there are many positions like that in DeFi that allow that. So the 500% APR, yeah, of course, everybody wants that, but it's just not sustainable. Farming stable coins, I know people. Okay, so watch some of our recent recordings, right? We had someone who has come on and said that they paid for their daughter's wedding farming stablecoins. We have members in our group who literally just farm stablecoins to pay off their tax bill because of capital gains and all that type of stuff. Why not? I mean, the best rate I can get at my credit union is 0.5%, and I have to pump $500,000 in there to get that, which is nuts. So I mean, yes, there's really good asymmetric upside on stablecoins. You don't have to do a whole lot to get into it. I mean, literally, guys, we were talking about this on the Wednesday podcast, Solaire, and groups like it are literally pushing this as a savings account. So this doesn't quite say it here. But if we go to Lulo, which is on Solana, they're not. What they were saying is that they are a stable coin savings account, Save.finance, also on Solana. Yeah, Solana's permissionless savings account. This is literally what these guys are pushing out there, and this is how Solana is doing it, or groups on Solana are doing it. This is on all ecosystems. Doesn't matter where you do your stable coins. The point I'm making is the cost of inaction of not doing anything, just watching all the things we're talking about just kind of move by, is really just hurting you. Another one, I like timing the market, and I think if I wait, my coins will pump again. This is a terribly backwards way to think about it, to be quite honest. That's the reason why DeFi is here, because yes, you can hold your coins. Sure, that's fine. You want to hold Bitcoin for 30 years in a cold wallet? Do that, please. But take a little bit of it, or proceeds from a little bit of it, or other powder that you have, and put it into a stablecoin farm, or even a low, or like a correlated asset farm where you have two of the same asset. One's a derivative and one's the actual asset, and farm that for 10, 25, 40% plus incentives. There's no guarantee that your coin that you're holding is going to pump again. Assuming we're not talking about Bitcoin and ETH, right? Assuming we're talking about some AI coin or Filecoin, Internet Computer, Near, XRP, Cardano. No guarantee that that stuff is going back up, right? There's all the chance in the world it can continue to fall, especially if global macro happens, liquidity moves all around. While you're waiting for all that, you should be farming stables. You could have been making money while you wait. That's why that's why DeFi is so powerful, guys. And that's the main reason why I wanted to put this up here, because I wanted to figure out, if not enough people are taking action, what can I show you to make you take action? Is it setting up a stablecoin farm with $10? I've done that multiple times. Now, comment in here. Trader's mindset instead of a farmer's mindset. Yeah, that's fine. But know that you can do more with your coins. I know plenty of traders. I'm not personally a trader because I think there's better ways to move my money around to get in terms of making profits. And that's through DeFi. You can trade, of course. The trading is a big part of what we do in DeFi. Look at the way we work with concentrated liquidity. The thing is that if you're doing trading, you're in a PvP environment, right? It is player versus player. You're trying to make the trade, get in and out of that order book as quickly as possible, get your orders filled. You know, with stop losses, trailing stops, stuff like that. That's fine. If you want to pull fibs and watch charts all day, that's great. If you'd rather be passive and let all of these farms working for you, grinding out that profit and yield, come join us at Beacon. Very simple. We have multiple members who are sitting here making 5 figures passively every month. Are you going to have that as a low cap farmer? No. Let me set the table for you for that. Investing is still investing, even though that we have rates regularly well above 20%. Understand that it takes money to make money, right? You're not going to pop in $10 and just literally get $10,000 overnight. Those opportunities are not going to be here on protocols like this, and those types of things are catch a falling star or a knife type deals, where you have got to be in the right place at the right time, prepared with the right tools. Not everybody's going to have that. So if you are that person and you're doing that, great, keep doing it. But most of the people I know that do that, if they're not farming stables or having some type of good stable farm behind them, you're just round tripping, because you're going to sit there and keep going around and losing profit and hoping that you break even at the end of the day. And that's not the right way to be in this space. I know people are like, yeah, I spend 16 hours online. Why? Why? You know, farm smarter, not harder, guys. And that's the main reason why we talk about what we talk about. Because life's, go out and touch grass, guys. Families, all these wonderful things. These are the ways that we can go and get the lifestyle or just the career goals, the financial goals that we want, by having a good plan, attacking it with a system like we have with our Beacon Ascend framework. For a lot of people, they don't realize that there's trading available in DeFi. They're normally done at perp dexes. GMX is one. The biggest perp dex is at Hyperliquid. High efficiency, really great trading experience at any of these spots. Whether you want spots or perps, which are only in DeFi, you won't find these in traditional finance. So you can take leverage on digital assets or have exposure to them. But the great part about this is that not only can you do trading, you can also farm the traders. And this is what we call PvE type stuff, right? Player versus environment, where you're literally making money off of trader P&L. You are profiting off the behavior of other investors. So while you sit there and hold, you have farms out here grinding out, getting fees from the behavior of other traders, other investors. It's not a complicated game, guys. Honestly, when people ask what are the things that you do, I'm like, we stake, we do borrowing and lending, We farm a lot of stable coins. We get into these things like perp dexes. We do concentrated liquidity, playing against, high yield, high volume meme coins that are out there. Those farms where we talk about in our webinars where I make $100 in my sleep, more than that, depending on what's going on. Things where you can make 4 figures in 2 weeks, depending on the type of position you're in. You're not going to do that just holding on to XRP or Cardano. Simple as that. Well, you're going to have to wait a long time, but why wait when you can farm at the same time? I'm not saying don't trade, guys. If you want to hold and trade, do it. There are other tools in the box that you can do. And to me, it's weird, honestly, guys, to me that people aren't going out and setting up these positions because they're easy to get to. Literally, you can set up a position on Beefy in literally less than 2 minutes. Especially if you're on base, for example, you just come in, you bridge some USDC, which is free, along with ETH, which is free to do so from Coinbase down to base. Literally choose any of that, swap it in, set up the position, and you're in less than 3 minutes, earning and just monitoring at that point. Yield farming is a lot easier than it used to be. So the other part of what I wanted to talk about today was what can you do if you're a low cap yield farmer? A lot of us started out in this space as a low cap yield farmer, to be honest. I mean, some of the most successful people in our group, I've known them for years. They start out with literally $500 and a hope that maybe they'll do something. And now they're worth 7 figures, 8 figures. Obviously, it takes a couple of opportunities to get there, but overall, yeah, it can absolutely happen. I've seen it happen before my eyes. I mean, I'm not going to talk about my losses, but there's been some tragedies in this space, and we've been able to build back better, regain those things, surpass them on things that are in here. But for anyone who's wondering if this is a stablecoin, yes. On Base, on Aerodrome, they're bringing on a $7 trillion Forex market. So if you like trading foreign exchange or foreign currencies with Forex, they now have pools on Aerodrome. This is IDRX. This is the Indonesian rupiah stablecoin. So this is a stablecoin pool, getting 30%. It's not a concentrated liquidity pool. The Brazilian real one is. So this is 17% for USDC and the Brazilian real stablecoin. CLM meaning it's automated, auto rebalanced and managed for you. Just pop in your capital and just come back later and just monitor how your profits are going. All right. So one thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago, if you've never actually been to Beat the Banks, definitely come here and check it out. We have multiple recordings. We've been doing this training specifically on this platform since Black Friday of 2023. If you check out the Beat the Banks training recordings here, when you scroll down from our classroom, you can check out all the different recordings. And some of this is in our Introduction to DeFi module already, but I've gone through all of these things, literally. And same with our team members. We have Andrew in here as well. If I started over with $100, what would I do with it? Looking at the alpha that people post in our group, how to act on that stuff. Really easy, really great stuff. That's just good mindset information, because you got to have a good mindset to be in this space. But anyway, back to if you're a low cap farmer, what would I do? Most likely I would start farming stables, but then I'd look into some upside bets and things like DePIN. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. What's really great about DePIN is that, and I had a couple people already tell me that they got into helium, they got into grass because of our thing, which is awesome. You're just using your resources to help with projects, whether it be grass, which is using your home internet to help train LLM models, helium, which is where you contributed to their Internet of Things infrastructure, or they're doing Wi-Fi. So if you've seen Helium Mobile, they offer Where's their site? Oh, I guess I could look here. Check out the globe. That's the key. They sell these hotspots now. Some are for IoT, some are for 5G, which is probably the better deal. So if you go and if you see the Helium mobile ads where you can get either free 5G or $20 a month, that's what this is. You're helping power that network, and you're going to receive the mobile token uh, as a profit for doing so by owning one of these devices. So a lot of DPIN stuff is ROI based, right? So in a lot of cases, you're going to be in a situation like with GeoNet, who I met at Denver. They basically have devices that help with GPS positioning. Uh, you pretty much just own the device. You put it outside, you hook it up, you get it connected to your home internet, and you get paid in token for helping build a more robust network for them. That's what DPIN provides. DPIN itself stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network. So you're going to be doing some ROI on like nodes, hardware nodes, software nodes. There's multiple projects out there. Frankly, if you can find a project early enough and they're in the early stages and they're going somewhere, frankly, an easy way to get a really good asymmetric upside bet. But also, if you're just looking for passive income, it's no different than people who go out and get into Turo. Like Turo is a peer-to-peer car rental network, kind of like the Airbnb of rental cars, where people put up their own cars to rent out to people whenever they visit a city. It's no different than that, to be quite honest. You're getting an ROI, like you go out and you buy it. Like I know people who buy electric cars, like Teslas, Nissan Leafs, and stuff like that, specifically for Turo, because it makes gas cheap. You get easy to maintain. If you get the right car, really easy to make that money back right away. Pardon me. And that's the exciting thing about DPIN. There's a lot of things going on there. And I'm just going to talk about a few narratives, right? Because for low cap, it's all about finding the asymmetric upside to getting that next great opportunity. I'm going to talk about Pump.Fund for a second. I know a lot of people they love meme coins, right? They're all like, I'm a degen at heart. I'm such a base Chad. I'm going to find the next great meme coin. Here's the problem with meme coins, specifically at Pump.Fund. Do we have a thing? I had a dashboard somewhere. There it is. Now, Pump.Fund has set the world on fire in DeFi, frankly, because they took something that was fairly, what sounds simple, which is releasing your own token, and they made it unbelievably easy with the click of a button. And it's at this point, it's free. It's only when your coin gets enough traction to get to graduate to the AMM level that someone has to actually pay for it. And it's mostly marketing to get to that point. The problem is, and as you can see here, the total Pump.Fund market cap for graduated tokens who make it to that next level, $3.6 billion. They've made a ton of fees to the point where Solana in Q1 had more fees generated. And when I see generated, meaning from transactions, not TVL, not revenue, fees generated, more than ETH and all of its L2s combined. And there's a lot of things that go into that, right? Trump's coin was a big part of that. That launch just lit the whole space on fire, unfortunately. But launched tokens. And again, we're in a decline here. This is the number of tokens that have launched in the last 3 weeks. We'll give it 3 weeks. After Pump.Fund got started, within like 2 weeks, there were more coins released in a day. Actually, probably let's be generous. In like a week, than all periods previously combined. I mean, we're looking at 19,000 tokens launched as of today. Yesterday, 41,000 launched tokens. Guys, this means that you literally have a better chance of winning the lottery than finding a pump.fun token that's going to actually hit gold. Now, you can join groups. There are Twitter feeds and stuff that tell you the latest token that's going to graduate. But it's definitely shooting fish in a barrel. Meme coins have no utility. They're literally there just for the lulz, to talk like the kids do. I'm old. One second. You know I'm also old because I have to hydrate frequently. But I mean, look at this stuff, guys. There is no way to systematize attacking this in a way that you're going to win. In fact, in our mastermind, we don't really talk about meme coins. Why? Because if you're really serious about investing, it's a gamble. Yes, we will gamble for asymmetric upside, stuff like that, only with 2 to 5% of our portfolio. Why? Because this is not sustainable. There is no way you're going to find each and every single winner. And the winners, especially if there's 41,000 tokens that came out yesterday, how are you going to find the one that's going to make not even a 10x, even a 10x? I could take the charts of the last 41,000 coins just to lay them on top of each other, and they're all going to look like this. Flat, flat, up, down, and then bloop, straight down, and then flat towards zero. That's what they all do. Is that a game that's worth playing? No, not if you value your time. Even with a bot. I mean, half the time you're going to win, half the time you're not, because bots fight against each other for the space to buy coins at a particular order. And buying and selling, there's no science to it. So this is a game that you're just gambling on. And in our group, we raise smart investors, not gamblers, because smart investors are the ones who make money. I mean, you're just burning coins here, sir. I use $10 to $50 whenever I'm anything as a meme coin with the expectation of going to zero every time. I mean, we don't really have to do that, right? We don't really have to do that. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it. The one thing I can tell you about our group is that we all started from very humble beginnings. Yeah, we're all fairly degen, but we smartened up pretty quickly, and that's the reason why we're still here 5 years later. There's a lot of people that can tell you their story about how they've been here, and they're all fairly similar. They figured out that there's a longevity piece to being successful in this business, and it doesn't have to deal with meme coins. In fact, every single serious person I know in this space wants this stuff to die. Why? Because it's bringing in speculation. It's bringing in the wrong type of utility from real projects that are building real things that are going to be the future of finance. Things like Pendle, for example, one of the best protocols in all of DeFi. In fact, you will be seeing some short form content from me on this. If you don't follow us on socials, please do. It's Beacon DeFi at all the socials we have here along the bottom. Would love for you. Let me change my screen because I'm just sharing my screen every time. But all along here, Beacon DeFi at all of these platforms. Please follow us and please help amplify our stuff so we can make DeFi accessible for everybody. Thank you very much. And we'd love to interact with you. Tell us more content you'd like to see. We'd love to see that because we're here to educate. We're a DeFi education company, guys. We're here to onboard people safely and securely into this space. IBGT at a fixed PT at 286% with 68 days maturity on it. Sweet. Stable coins, 10%, 89 days. And Pendle in a way is like it's like a Christmas club, right? Like a CD. It's a coupon bond. You deposit USDC into here. If you go all the way to mature, you're guaranteed 10%. I like that. Is there a stable coin up here that's guaranteed for more than that? USR, 13%. This is a delta neutral hedge stable coin. Reserve just got a $10 million seed round done. Congrats to them. 13% on, well, it's 5 days left. It's outside the scope of this, but there is stuff you can do with that to get much higher yields with 5 days to go. Good luck to all of you who are taking advantage of that specifically. So, again, if you're a low cap farmer just going out, doing deep pen, getting to some of these pools. Another one I'll talk about is airdrops. And here's the thing. Airdrops are lucrative. Like, for example, our mastermind earned about $1 million off the Arbitrum airdrop from 2 years ago. But airdrops haven't been like that since, to be very, very honest. There are a lot of people who gamed that airdrop. Hundreds of wallets being created just to farm, doing what's called Sybil activity, because you have multiple personalities, multiple wallets. They've cracked down on that a lot. But that doesn't mean that you still can't do well on projects that have incentives. One of them is a Jupiter, right? If you go to Jupiter and you stake your stuff here, you stake your Jupe, you actually earn rewards every quarter. That's just on this wallet, but trying to think of some other really good ones that are coming. Well, I'll leave you to your research to do that, because I could talk about airdrops forever. But the one thing I wanted to talk about specifically is with airdrops is that they're pre-sales. They're glorified marketing, right? They're giving you tokens for doing activities. It's the reason why things like Galaxy exist and Zeely. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to Galaxy and you log in, there are lots of places here where you have quests, things that you do. Hemi, I've been talking to that team for a minute. You get perks, and essentially they're farming you for your time, much like what I talked about with Telegram. When in terms of being farmed, they're having you do their marketing for them. That's all that airdrop farming really is. Points farming kind of the same, right? Points farming is a little bit different because you actually have to put in some liquidity and use the protocol. Whereas with airdrop farming, start with these quests. Let's see. Genome pre-TGE. TGE means token generation event. I'm giving away a lot of shit free today, guys. Don't come at me. Don't come at me, team. Anyway, you're just doing all of this stuff, right? You get into their protocol. You link your wallet, and essentially they're building a profile on you, and you can earn things. You can earn coins. And again, if you're a low capital farmer, getting airdrops is like getting free money. What should you do when you first get it? Well, if you really love the protocol, you could save it, you could hold it, you could stake it. But if you just want the free money, sell it. We've had multiple airdrops in our group. Like I said, we communally as a mastermind, we got $1 million from the ARB airdrop. Other ones, we got 5 figures off of layer 0, stuff like that. What did we do? Most people do this, sold it, because there's always going to be a point at the beginning where it all goes up and then people sell and then it comes back down and then the real value starts to come back. So anyway, airdrop farming takes your time. Same thing with Telegram, right? We did the Telegram episode a couple different times. And if you go to taps.center specifically for Telegram, you can see all of these protocols. And let me tell you, they all know each other very well, and they're all working together, because you go and you log into a game or a mini app, and they're like, you can earn X amount of points if you do this, meaning like, go check out this other project. And it's like this big old, let's call it what's for. It's Ponzi, right? We love a good Ponzi. And just more eyeballs. The difference is that when you're farming something like an airdrop for a large protocol, as opposed to on your phone, the population is different. That's the one thing you have to realize. At least in DeFi, you're not going to have as many people farming. Why? Because it takes effort. Whereas here on Telegram, you have a billion people on a mobile device fighting amongst each other, trying to earn points by swiping away dogs and hamsters and all that type of stuff. Do it if you want, but I'm telling you right now, you're not going to make a ton of money. If you do, you are one of the very lucky few, because it's like they're like, you gain this many points if you follow our YouTube or our Instagram, and you go to their YouTube or Instagram and you check out, there's like 13 million followers. Guess what? You're one of 13 million people trying to get this airdrop. So it's like, how much airdrop could you really get when you're fighting amongst 13 million other people? You got to think about it in that mindset, guys. So it's like, do I sit here and do all this, try and waste all this time just to do something? Or do I just go back and just farm the stablecoin pool? Telling you guys, there's a reason why we've been around for a while. Yes, we do love ourselves a good upside bet, but just know that most of them are few and far between. Finding good DeFi projects with real utility and just things that are going to keep you going. Never apologize for taking profits, by the way. That's something we have in our group as well. If you're watching this 6 months from now and you're going to be thinking, man, I really should have just set up this position, this 30% position, because it's most likely, and you can always, if you're in the position, go here, go to TVL. I'm sorry, not TVL, APY, and you can check what's the moving average for, well, this I guess is the last 4 days, but let's go with, they used to have it for like, it hasn't been open that long. But anyway, you can always check the moving average on most of these for up to 30 days. And you'll get an idea of how much you're making, right? Because it's all about the average. Because nothing in crypto and DeFi are literally the same every second. The price is always moving up and down. So you want to make sure you have a healthy average. So yes, if you don't have a ton of money to come in with, there are a lot of things you can do. Farm some of these stable coins. While you do that, take a small amount, go into some upside bets. If you like something like Pump.Fund, if you want to go trade on Hyperliquid or GMX or some of these other spots, or if you want to do concentrated liquidity, these are all things that you can do. Fairly simple to understand, fairly simple to set up, and something you can get into. Now, here's the thing. You do have to have a little bit of understanding of how that works. And that's why we have what we have here. You know? It's not hard, guys. It just takes a little bit of time. But you're going to be learning skills that you can take with you for a while. In fact, I did this call, a month ago, where I looked at something that I wrote 2 years ago and see if it's still tracked. Still tracked. Still tracked. Little wrinkles here and there, but for the most part, the fundamentals are the same. And what we're looking at now, especially with all of this chart movement, all of this volatility due to ridiculous like tariff movements and just whatever's going on out there, you got to be prepared to be able to play the market. And I'm not talking about trading. I'm talking about actual grinding out of yields. That's the beautiful thing about stable coins. They're fixed to a dollar or to a fiat currency, right? You take a lot of the problems of the equation out of it when you go that route. Okay. That's what I want as the takeaway from this. Come into the group, check it out, set up your first position, set up a stablecoin position. Come to Beefy, filter by stablecoins, choose one, bridge down, pop $10 in. I do it all the time on these trainings. 5, 10, 20 bucks. I'm not doing it because that's all I have. I'm doing it because I'm showing you that it's affordable and accessible. Anyone can do this. This means you don't go out and go drinking at the bar for 3 hours to go and do this. It's a better use of your money, in my personal opinion, because at least this goes back in a good way. Anyway, I'm not going to rant much longer, but we have a lot of insight on a lot of these different protocols, tools in our community. Feel free to come in, please. If you have a question or anything I talked about, come in our group. Of course, it's absolutely free to come up and set up an account. School.com/beacon. Absolutely free to do so. Please, just come in, say hi. And if you have a question or anything I've talked about, please ask. We have many members in the community who are more than welcome to engage with you and give you their experience, as well as give you the right answer as to what you should be doing. But don't just sit around and hold. You should be farming. That's the one thing about volatility. It's great for yield. Who knew that? We're making money hand over fist over all this volatility, while everyone's sitting on the sideline just waiting for the market to come back. Why? You could be making money. Many of our members already are. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy or gal. But come and join us, please. What I will end on today is a word from one of our new partners. And we're making tons of partnerships here for your benefit. And I really should have had this ready. I apologize. Anyway, it's with our really, it's been a week. We've got a lot of things coming up for you guys. Really excited to announce some new products for you. Keep on the lookout for that. That should be coming out very soon. I need to grab my banner. That's what I need. I want to thank everybody for watching. I see multiple people are coming in. Happy to have you here. Again, join us absolutely free. School.com/beacon. Learn about decentralized finance. Learn about why we don't care about how the market's going nuts, because we're still making money regardless, without getting leveraged and liquidated, all that kind of good stuff. Let me come back here. Let me turn off this banner here. Let me put up this media banner here. There. Goodness gracious. This segment's brought to you by One Llama, our new partner here at Beacon DeFi. Are you tired of paying more for insurance just because someone else has crashed? Thanks to our new friends at One Llama, they reward safe drivers and not punish them. One Llama's mutual coverage model gives you back power and perks when you drive smart. Skip the fine print, keep the coins. Join the herd at onellama.com using our referral code here, join.onellama.com/beacon-defi. Save up to 70% every 6 months if you are a safe driver. Safe driver, your time is now. We're excited to be the go-to DeFi education partner of One Llama, and our thanks to One Llama for being part of our Beacon Network alliance of partners here in Web3. Again, join.onellama.com/beacon-defi. Be one of the first 500 members, because you're going to get tokens and perks, and I don't want to say double benefits, but get something good. So again, join.onellama.com/beacon-defi, and be one of the first 500 members. I just wanted to bring this up today because I'm sitting in on some of their team meetings. They are moving. They've got some great partnerships coming in the automotive world because they're disrupting the world of car insurance. And your spot as one of those first 500 members is closing quickly. So if this is something you're interested in saving on your car insurance bill every 6 months and you're a safe driver, check out One Llama. We met them at ETH Denver, loved their pitch. They love what we do with education. It was an easy match to put together to mix our groups, because they're using blockchain to help with their AI modeling as well as their insurance modeling. So really big things And like I said about asymmetric upside, this is absolutely an asymmetric upside bet, because there's not a lot of blockchain people disrupting auto insurance, but they're partnered with all the big wigs that are. So check out One Llama. join.onellama.com/beacon DeFi. You can sign up as a you can sign up for getting into the program, or you can be an affiliate. Just use our ref code. We greatly appreciate it. That helps us here. And hopefully you found value in today's show. So again, I will recap one last time. Go out and set up a stablecoin position today. We have a lot of information on how to do that. And the cost of inaction is crazy, guys. I know a lot of people that because of inaction, they round trip off of what happened with meme coin fever back in the end of last year. Don't be one of those people. Take profits along the way. These are all things we talk about in our groups, in our communities, in our masterminds. If you want to be part of that, join our group. Very simple. We have Total Value Locked is absolutely free, but of course we have our Beacon Mastermind. We can be among the best of the best. We have a great partnership of industry insiders who are also there to help you along the way. We get coaching and all that good stuff. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Got to make that disclaimer. Do your own research. Don't ask me. I'm DJ. With that said, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Here in the Midwest, we had a big round of hail and tornadoes that literally, we thankfully didn't get hit by. Like it literally went 5 miles to our north and 2 miles to our south, that entire storm. So don't know exactly how we didn't get shredded, but my heart goes out to those who have, and hopefully that hail didn't hurt you guys too much. So be careful out there. Be safe. Touch some grass. Set up a stablecoin farm. Start grinding out these yields instead of just waiting around, waiting for the market to come back. Okay? 07. Beacons up. Thanks down. Take care, everyone.